Okay, there. Alright, now that should work. What the fuck? Alright, well, welcome to the stream, everyone, now with sound. To fix the actual setup at some point. But, welcome to the CIS 1.1 former preview playthrough, now post-view, because we've already got the Republic preview playthrough in the upcoming build. This one being in the current live build, or slightly before the current live build. So we are heading towards the later stages of this one. There's still some pretty big holdouts left. The Republic holdouts on the core and in the rim. Tool is going to revolt on its own. We did get some vision on this, which the hypervelocity gun, kind of scary. But one thing that I had been talking about was the possibility of sending Dooku on an adventure on his own, and I think we're going to do that first.
My revolution soon will be yours, willingly or not.
So, we were supposed to be doing Edge of Despair tonight, but... oh yeah, I forgot Empress Tita was getting attacked. But yeah, so Kalo was unfortunately pretty busy all week with work, so he didn't have time to do all the prep that Edge of Despair takes, so we're just, we're doing this instead. And I'm not sure, depending on how many episodes are left here, we will either be doing one or two more of these streams on YouTube, or I'll record a couple more episodes on Twitch. But we've got the Republic playthrough first, so that's going to be kind of the primary recording one. But we're also in a new month, technically. Since there's not been too many YouTube streams in the last little while, and I kind of want to get back to that. So we do the donation goals for each month, and when we hit them, I do a full Galactic Conquest in a single stream, and we hit that for June, so this month we're going to be doing one for that. If we hit the July one, we'll also be doing one in August. It's hard to sync those up better, like ideally you do it in the same month. And if we don't hit it until the 29th and I have to do it the next day, that would be terrible. Well, in month with 30 days. Obviously, July, I'd have 2 whole days to do. I meant for the June one. So today was the first time since last March that I actually went and saw friends. We met in a park, and that was fun. Like, the only people I've really talked to in real life have been Dana since we moved in. There was the weekend we moved. Our parents helped us move, so my dad and her parents. So saw people then. That's it. So for the preview playthrough, or not preview playthrough, for the single stream playthrough, I'm considering doing one of the base game campaigns actually, like the Republic or Empire ones, because we did the. We did the Underworld one relatively recently. So like we do the CIS or Republic one, and then possibly another mod for the following one. I'll probably do a poll, see what people want at some point. But those were my thoughts. Because the base game ones are pretty good. Well, the May one was the only one that hasn't been hit all year. So we got the June one. Then there's like X2, where every stream we have a bunch of different donation goals. So like, have to make sure Charlie can pay rent somehow. Well, we got 2 VSTs out of this. See if we can get another VST.
Yes, Commander. Let's go.
I have to try not to play too much like we are in the Republic one. The fighter and anti-fighter differences are pretty big. Hello, Captain Rex. When you get the debug structure to appear on the bar, you have to go into the code and enable it. Change the tech level.
Frigate here.
Like theme music?
Destroy the launch bay.
Kind of broad. I guess it depends on the theme music. It's the June one. I am probably going to schedule it for next week. I want to do it relatively early. I mean, it's already the 11th, but my ability to track time is non-existent, so... No. And then, after this Thursday, I assume I will no longer have facial hair. It'll be great. And cut off with... They're still going to get in there. But we do want Dooku to go in here. Fleet's about to invade Alderaan. That. Again, I'm not sure what it's going to be exactly. It'll probably be one of the or one of the base game campaigns. So Rebel or Empire. And I was going to look at the Phoenix Rising and AOTR GC lists, see if there's a suitable one for a single stream Galactic Conquest.
With us. How do you feel the power of the dark side? Go, bring order from the chaos. I recognize a natural leader when I see one. I urge you to reconsider this course of action. I urge you to reconsider this course of action. Their doubters greater than themselves.
Oh, go for them.
With us.
Might have been...
I urge you to reconsider this course of
not
action.
great.
Educate them in the fact that they have already lost. I have no time for this game. I urge you to reconsider this course of action. Surely you can do better.
Rip.
I think not.
Didn't work. If I'd been able to get to the A6, like my plan was to get the A6s, but it didn't work. Didn't work. Ion cannon, gotta go in one. Acclimators. Yeah, I ended up having to use it on most of the scout bikes. If I'd hit all of them, it would have been enough. Because then I could have made it focus on the A6. Dooku wouldn't have been chased. I could have gone somewhere else and let it charge back up. But it didn't work out that way.
Ion cannon firing.
Worth a shot. What do you think about some mods for TR, like Coolers Unit expansion? Are there any ideas in it? Like, I haven't really had a chance to play any submods, but I know there are a lot of them, and I think it's really cool that there are so many that are being made. Sometimes you can check the workshop, and there's dozens of them. So, like, it has been suggested a few times to like do a stream or something, just looking at what's there. Maybe we'll do that at some point. Hey, Black Wolf.
Power up. Roger, roger. Majority reticle recently calibrated.
Like, the nice thing about a raid like that is that I either win and I take the planet, or I lose, and I get to see some comments later about how did you lay the hero, and those are always fun.
Was your mating reticle recently calibrated? This does not compute. Power up, are you?
And that's how I read all those comments, is in that tone.
How are you doing that?
So just
Charge up. Messy.
just so you're aware, if you leave a comment like that, that's what I'm hearing.
Ion cannon firing.
Yes, Commander. Location confirmed. Frigate here. Fall out.
Cruiser here.
Might be able to get over to that vendor.
Frequency open.
Roger, roger.
There was a comment on Datapad on a video I did about General Veers
Lots of
where
I need recharging.
I was like, well, actually, in the book for the movie, he dies, so you're making this about, like, imaginary canon.
Yes,
Bro, like,
Commander.
to break it to you, but all of Star Wars is imaginary.
Let's go.
The channel that covers Star Wars lore is like, yeah, if we're talking about, we're going to talk about
Current target acquired.
what different elements bring to the table. Like, just because
Waiting orders.
the movies are the most official thing, like, they didn't happen either. I
Roger.
think sometimes people lose sight of that. French should be respawning, but
Frequency open.
depending on when this was made in development, it's possible that he wasn't set up properly at some point. You never know.
Destroy turret.
Targeting at maximum firepower.
Machines are superior. Finish him.
They've taken out the launch bay.
Machines are superior. Designated for termination charging.
Copy. Firing on our lasers. Our lasers are
Power up, are you? Focus your weapon.
Yeah, like that. I feel like it's a little known secret that
Attack.
Star Wars
We're losing ground.
Target
was made up.
Power up, are you?
lasers.
You have been designated for termination detected.
Lots of frigate reporting.
It was first thought of by Gene Wilder in 1996.
Firing on their lasers. Yes, sir. Target.
There's another thing that I want to do a datapad video on. I'm not sure how to frame it exactly, but it's something that I think happens a lot, where like a character will say something and the tone or context is not really taken into account when deciding like how much that impacts even the intended lore or the intended idea of what's supposed to be going on, where
Reinforcements on
but where in Darkness Crisis, Han and Leia are out
Termination confirmed.
heading towards Korbu, or it might be the discussion between the Solos and the Thorians and Cal Omas. Either way, Han's thinking about like Leia in the old days going and solving like all these little problems throughout the galaxy because she's out of politics at this point.
Negative life force.
So
Terminate.
he's got this like internal line about how Leia used to go and solve a food shortage on Gottle Goob, or a cruiser buildup on Farbog, and it's like it seems clear to me from context that those names are meant to be like just nonsense words that Han is making up as like examples of just the types of things she'd be doing. So immediately after reading that line, I went to Wikipedia to see how seriously they'd been taken. Of course, there were pages for those two planets, Gottlegoob and Farbog. Like Farbog, it's a faraway planet. A bog, it's not important. And
Attack that target.
I looked at the references, and they'd been added not just in Darkness, but also in the Essential Atlas. So they had been officially moved up to real planet status. Come on. We can wipe out some fleet. Oh. So they split up some of their ships going up to Tata. And we can hopefully wipe out that fleet with Grievous. Like, yeah, this should be pretty easily dealable with.
Wow, roger that.
Direct fire on the engines.
Uh-oh. Check your flank.
Alright.
How are you doing that? Mandy, Mandy.
Our target priority is the laser
Roger,
cannons.
roger. Eliminate turret.
The lasers are our target. Our target priority is the laser
Roger,
cannons.
roger. This does not go to turret. Charge up. Nice.
You need to go over that way, because that's where they are going to be trying to hit you from. And we'll get the next shot off on this.
Well aimed.
While you
You have been designated for termination.
shooting out that.
You can't have my part.
The lasers are our target. Take out the iron cannons.
Majority reticle recently calibrated. Power up.
No, you need to die.
Your efficiency exceeds expected parameters.
Through and there.
How are you doing that? Majority reticle recently calibrated.
I am a little bit worried about all the bombers. Like, we're taking out all the ships for sure. I can close this. I don't need that anymore.
Take the shot. Alright, Republic on that.
But it is a Dreadnought shipyard. I'm hoping they didn't build another Praetor. I'm thinking we're going to get this killed before another Praetor would have had time to come out. We're so close to wiping out their, like, major shipyards. They haven't had a level 4 for a while. Until this.
Roger, roger.
Don't have an HV gun here, obviously.
Self-preservation logic activated.
It's even the bombers. I just want you to kill some Y-Wings for us. Why do some ships have a Republic color scheme while others are great? That is determined by... So, we make the ones that come from the shipyard as garrisons typically go with the lack of the livery, which makes it a bit easier to tell what's what. They use the skirmish ones.
Target priority is the laser cannons.
Yeah, they're going to get one more Venator, but we can just kill some of these fighters off. There it is. They won't get one more after that. That'll be it. We can get that. Oh, never mind. He used it already.
The lasers are our target.
Oh, spin it around. Go for all the good that'll end up doing.
Laser cannons. The lasers are our target. Our target priority is the laser cannons.
Now, let's head over there. At least they shouldn't get any more fighters. The Dreadnoughts, these will be the last two, I think. That is worth killing. Get over to more bombers, away from their anti-fighter. Yeah, these bombers are all alone. They're also gonna get hit by the lasers and stuff, so... Turbo lasers. Anything else to shoot at?
Take out the iron cannons.
We'll just keep going forward.
Target down.
Alright. I think this is the only time I've had a Republic and CIS playthrough going simultaneously. So that's fun.
Flash coming.
The version difference is a big deal. Right, I think that's most of the Y-Wings dead. There's still a squadron in there.
Hold your ground.
Stations down.
Hostiles eliminated.
So the Malevolence itself is Grievous's specific ship, but you can get 5 other subjugators simultaneously. But there's no,
Roger, boom.
there's not a limit beyond that.
Republic organic.
The lasers are our target.
I do want to drop the limit, like the current build limit for at least Praetors, and probably for the subjugator as well. I don't think we'd introduce a lifetime limit for them. Just the concurrent limit.
Our target priority is the laser cannons. The lasers
There's a small chance in Fall of the Republic that they'd end up getting persistent damage like SSDs do, but that'll likely just be the Mandator. They definitely wouldn't get it in TR. It'd just be those SSDs, like the actual SSDs, not battle cruisers. But in Fall of the Republic, they're like proportionally bigger than a lot of you're getting beyond that, so might be more worth it. That hasn't been determined yet. There's different scales of combat, different scales of like what's considered big at the time, or the biggest at the time.
Perhaps it is time to stop feeling and start
Alright. There goes their shipyard again. And then it's just Corellia in this area. We lost Scourge of Skyshroud and the Imposter, though. We still have a good amount of money, so we can build turrets and everything.
Forming squad. I
This map is pretty defensible with a bunch of turrets.
I'm on point. Follow me.
We've secured a build pad.
AV.
Audio trace detected.
Hey, we got here.
We've
Pretty
secured a
impressive.
build pad.
AV.
Squad.
AV. It's the Juggernaut that I'm most scared of.
Accepted.
Here's the Juggernaut.
Negative on visual scan.
Yay.
They may have two. It really depends on what they sent in first.
Nice.
So,
Audio trace detected.
because you never see the
Grenade.
first one in the whole loadout thing.
Enemy unit terminated.
Yeah, bombing runs can definitely mess us up here.
No.
I'm hoping to not have to deal with that.
Turret constructing.
The clones are out there. Sweep for clones. All ready. Better come up
Comes
with
the
a
bikes.
Audio trace detected. Falling back. Visual scan confirmation.
See you, Sky.
Took out mark.
Have a good night.
Human down. Backing down.
There's all the bikes.
I hit by target. Pull out. Meet back down. Abandoning conflict.
Forming Forming squad.
Destroyed.
Right. You over there. Over here. Okay, so there is a second one here.
Is under attack.
Keep going, blast. You guys were supposed to come the other direction. I'm just sad. It's just in case they come up that way.
Audio trace detected. Target spotted. Enemy charge incoming.
May as well kill these.
Incoming. Pull back. Falling back.
Can I drag you into following? Oh, nope. You were supposed to follow. Yeah. It wasn't going to work out. Goofiest.
System lost.
Crap.
Tactical battle.
No! Wasn't how it was supposed to be. We were supposed to get here first.
Hey,
Okay, well,
got here. Forming squad. Hey, follow me.
turrets, more turrets.
Target. Enemy unit.
They have a lat on this one. That's a lot to deal with.
Yay. Hey, nice. Yay.
We've secured
Already.
a build pad.
Pretty impressive.
Turret constructing.
Better come up with a plan.
We've secured a build pad.
Vehicles, infantry.
Forming squad. Roger,
Construction
roger.
complete.
Careful. Looks like they're waiting for us.
Construction complete.
Can't shoot me now.
Construction
I
complete.
hate clones.
Right, we got the commandos here.
I'm attacking. Don't
Kill 'em.
get too close.
Please kill 'em.
There. Don't get too close. I can't get away.
They are mostly landing over here. Means we might be able to
We got here.
Our base is under attack.
build up a little bit more on that side. Then get over to this.
Look out, Mark.
A build
Look out. Grenade. No. Scan forwarded. Disengaging.
I just want to get the artillery.
I take
Oh, never mind, that's not happening.
I take five.
Well, that helped.
Forming squad.
Go forward so they shoot you instead of that.
Charge.
We haven't decided on what we'd switch any of the ground to space weapons to in FOTR.
Nice. This isn't good. Hey, die, clone. Clones are out there. We haven't secured the area. Give me just a few seconds.
I mean, the intent is that bombers are good against larger ships. Like, they miss smaller stuff pretty consistently. And there's also fewer bombers and fighters in the battles. That's also gated by cooldowns as well. So, like, yeah, they have a lot of upfront damage, but they're not guaranteed to get another run off either. An anti-fighter has ways to directly cancel a lot of that damage. Not even just by killing them, by just shooting the projectiles down. Like, there may be some adjustments made over the course of the development cycle, but, like, the idea is making some of the strengths more obvious and making the damage that bombers can do over the course of a typical battle more consistent with their pop cap. And also, it is, like, carriers will have their pop cap adjusted based on the combat power of the bombers. Not really. Like, it again depends on the makeup of your fleet and how you're playing with that fleet. Like, it's not you always have to play one way with one type of ship. Each type of ship is going to be good at different stuff. And it's just, before, it was difficult to have any kind of carrier-oriented fleet because of the way you got bombers and the way they applied their damage was on a very different time scale than how a lot of other stuff worked. Like, you could have them hang around alive for a long time because it was harder to deal with the swarms, and they do a lot of ship damage over time. But if you wanted to have a carrier-focused fleet, you couldn't. Whereas now you can, and they have very pronounced strengths and weaknesses. Like, if you wanted to have a lot of bomber damage before, you would have had to spam things like Nebulon Bs, where you'd be able to get a lot of them, they'd do a ton of damage, but it was getting into kind of cheesy and very laggy territory with the amount of stuff you'd be able to use. Predator. Better than a Predator. Decent. Magnificent. And let's also get lobbyists for independent military rights. Then dumbbell in the middle. Invisible.
Critical flaw detected.
We can actually still get Rail Parcel, so that'll give Grievous the boost at least.
Waiting orders. Open fire. Target those lasers.
The pilot resources will tie into it in that, like, you're not going to be able to just, like, put in a carrier fleet, send in all your bombers, do their damage, and then have them die without a risk. It's kind of like the same but opposite problem there that, like, super ships auto-healing after battles is. Like, you're able to give up a lot of the things that are actually doing the damage in that you're not really risking by throwing them away in a battle. Like, the bombers just auto come back at no cost.
Weapons armed.
Republic bomber
Cool spot.
detected.
Enemy spotted. Waiting orders.
Shields back online. New unit online. Keep Republic forces from destroying communications. All units decommissioned immediately.
Alright, let's see if we can save Lobbyist. I don't think we'll be able to, because there's just so much that's going to be targeting it.
Take target Alpha.
But if we can, then we shan.
Shields back online.
Like, stuff's starting to target other stuff. So, I think it might be doable. Let's get the weapons off of that side.
Republic bombers detected. Communications are necessary for backup. On the battlefield.
We should have enough money to switch Grievous. The thing is, I just end up having to pay all the money for the patron ships. Then I run out of resources to do the upgrades on that kind of thing. But I think most, if not all, have been used, so we can have some money going elsewhere.
We must complete both shutdown sequences.
Eh. I mean, Redditor is obviously the best one, so I don't know why you'd ever switch. Because, like, why would you give up a recusant for another subjugator?
Countdown approaching 0.
Too easy. Good chunk of their fleet. Save. Oh. CIS. Really not sure. Do we have enough ground units to do any of these? Yeah, like, that's mostly memeing, but having heroes in smaller ships is usually better because, or ships that are taking up less pop cap, because their bonuses don't self-apply. So if they have a really good bonus, by having them in a really big ship, they're not giving that bonus to as much of the rest of your pop cap. Like, yeah, Grievous himself will be more survivable, just Renitor to the Subjugator, but if Renitor is able to stay back and do a lot of damage, and the Subjugator has, and Malevolence has to be in the middle of everything, that's an unbuffed Malevolence or an unbuffed Renitor buffing the rest of everything else. This is our art. This is actually decent enough. We actually have. Yeah, I think we can do that.
Acknowledged.
Nice probing.
Beginning construction. Building
Building
under
started.
construction.
Ground invasion commencing.
Alright. We have Grievous, we have HMPs, Octoptaras, we have our own J1, like direct fire artillery.
Powering motivators. Loading demolition programs.
And let's get a support field base for this one.
Rearming. Powering motivators. Acknowledged. Secure the area.
Choose your reinforcements.
I'll clean their processors.
Let's come in, come in. Come die.
Construction complete.
Roger.
Alright, you guys head up there. Grab, sprint up on the ledge. Consider shielding from any of these ships. Is it based off wiki stats or books? So there's some like direct lore information that's used. There's also like the size class, the time period they were made in. There's a ton of factors that go into it. We very rarely, if ever, just take like direct RPG stat books for anything, for example, because they're
Yay!
basically balanced decisions themselves for a very different system. Uh, oh. So we try to take into account, like, when sources are saying something, both what do the sources say and what were those sources being used for. Otherwise, you end up with, like, certain ships being, like, super OP or super underpowered because, like, a specific RPG needed them to be that way. If all the Republic got raid fleets, it would be once, like, the Hudson or something. Because, like, the thing raid fleets are meant to represent is the fact that there's so many factions in the TR time period that are all fighting over different things, whereas the Clone Wars are a more direct 1v1 war.
Hey, nice.
Let's get over there. The C9979, I don't know if it has point defense. Because it's basically generally like rapid fire lasers that have the point defense. So offhand, I'm not sure exactly what has how much. Like, any anti-fighter ship tends to.
Already.
Heal that up. Don't know why I even bothered with this. Hit you. Oh, that's Fordo. Surviving better than 2. Jesus, there you go. Well, I wasn't saying that exclusively. I'm just saying those are the ones that I can definitely say offhand have it. But, like, anything with, like, rapid fire lasers, I just don't know what exactly is classified as that or not offhand per unit. Favorite faction, Fall of the Republic and TR? In Fall of the Republic, I do think I like the CIS more than the Republic. I just like the CIS ship aesthetics better. I'm not big on, like, massive corporations generally, but the ships look cool. That's what matters. In TR, Empire of the Hand is usually the answer there, but, like, all of them have something to offer, so... Let's just go to Fondor.
Destination set.
Building started.
Beginning construction.
And I really wanted all these to be pretty built up. Yeah, there you go. Nolan's the one that did the final decisions on, like, what would get put where there, so he would know far better than me specifics. Generally, any specific unit question is more of a Nolan question than a me. I'm generally more on the overall system side for units rather than specific unit numbers. Not pedantic enough. We have so many of these to build. Let's get Clankers Revenge back.
Production.
Yeah, the number of projectiles they're able to take down per second is based on barrels, essentially. So if it has more lasers, it has better point defense. It's not a flat number. Like Lancers and Tartans are the best, I believe. We were originally trying to split it up based on like lighter, heavier munitions on lighter, heavier lasers, but you can only have one active ability type for it, so that kind of had to go out the window. I was very sad about. Cool.
Constructing unit.
Like nothing above the targetable hardpoint cutoff has point defense. Because otherwise you destroy all the lasers and it's still point defensing at full power, which is always kind of weird. So anything above that point would probably be more likely to get it as an ability if it gets it at all, like an active ability that you can turn on if it's something that has a lot of lasers, or by roll is intended to have it. Let's put this up a little bit and go down there. It's a bit better to keep it at Alderaan than Kuat because we can respond to Volpter or Kuat faster than we can to Alderaan from either of them because the length of that is longer. So I should have been keeping them at Alderaan regardless. I had them in Alderaan places. Let's let this finish up.
Tactical battle imminent. Tactical battle imminent.
We have an HP gun or an ion cannon here. We don't.
Sending the ground forces for an invasion.
And we conquered Tool.
No life signs.
Choose your reinforcements.
Careful.
We'll get that here as well. Well, like I said, the activatable ability one would be what we use on larger ships if we decide we want larger ships to have it.
Sensor node constructing.
But that'd be part of other ability changes rather than something that we do as part of this system per se.
Turret constructing. Construction complete.
Like swarms against air units, usually not going to go well for them. Thank you, Tritone, for the 6226 donation, saying Republic just interrupting your invasion of Fondor as much as possible. They do that. They're a bunch of dicks, actually.
Optimized. Right. Mobile. Right. Optimized.
And the Republic have 20 people that have special bonus, and the CS is like 11 and no more. Well, the Republic has a lot that are gated behind the commander system. So simultaneously, they'll usually have fewer. And on the flip side, the CIS has some units that, like Grievous and Trench, who can respawn if they die, and Dirge. Part of it is just like the number of characters that exist that are available to each, and there's some stuff that are like the sub-faction integration that gives them more, and will give them even more in the future. Like, the Republic are, unless you use them really poorly and just get them all killed, the commander system means that the Republic will generally always have someone that isn't dead that you can recruit, but the CIS has the ability to field more simultaneously. Gotta stop it from getting there. They're gonna capture that turret, so we want out of that.
Available.
Bomber standing by.
Okay, run away. Was actually perfect.
Computers locked on.
Input subroutine initiated. They'll soon be offline.
We don't want to go over there. Let's see what happens if we go back here. Did those all die? I think they all died. That's sad. Alright. I think we gotta go forward then.
Roger, roger.
Scanning. Optimize. Boot it up.
Vehicle scan.
The CIS gets more simultaneously. That's what Nolan is saying. And then for their best heroes, like Grievous and Trench are their best command bonuses, and they can die and come back.
Check your targeting
Is
program.
very useful.
Checking range. Opening fire.
Especially since Grievous can die and come back any number of times.
We'll need a replacement. Ready for kill shot. Vehicle scan.
Droid present.
Going over there, and let's grab you.
Better come up with a plan.
Right, you guys are like mini ATAPs.
Attack.
There you go.
Forming squad. Target.
We're going over that way. We got the artillery. Well, let's take down this turret while it's still good. And you there, one of you over there.
Hey, we got
Get
you.
the
Forming squad. Hey,
air
yay.
ones
Hey, nice.
over here.
Yay.
We want some vision. Star Wars visions.
We've secured a build pad.
Input orders. Mobile. Input
All ready.
initiated.
Sensor
Better come up with
That's-
a plan.
And I don't know, just in case they invade again later.
Squad. I hate drones.
Diagnostic test okay.
Over to the bridge.
That's a lot of fire.
Over to the bridge. Well, it's not really a bridge. I always think of that being a bridge, but it's just a door, kind of, or a narrow pathway, corridor. The story behind the Praetor carrier: it is a comic ship. I think it's listed as Geo's battleship on Wikipedia.
Checking range. Hey, we got here. Forming squad.
GIEL.
Power pack charged. Right.
But it's an old Marvel ship?
I'll clean their processors.
Alright, this time they'll actually make it through.
We've secured a landing zone.
You don't need the landing zone, but it's nice to have it.
Droid present. Input subroutine initiated. Input
Here, no, leave. Just leave. Just leave. I think you should be able to deal with that.
Roger, roger.
I got my approach vector.
Vehicle scan. Yay! We'll need a replacement. Calculating kill shot.
And you need repairs now.
mobile.
Stay with them.
Mobile.
Hey, nice. Yay!
Make all of them go over to it. I don't know why I stopped making the support field bases. I used to make like exclusively them, then I haven't made them in a while. They're just so good. Repair is the best stat. Alright. I've said this a lot, but I really think this time Fondor is ours. For real. For good.
Okay. Missile droid ready. Missile droid reporting.
Forming squad.
There you are.
Move it up.
I really want to bring
Checking range. You're out of
the Northern Army down, but I need that for the Q-Trick. Even though we're probably not going after Q-Trick anytime soon. Nope, nope, oh, well, you're... Please die.
We'll need a replacement. I hate clones. Hey, we got here.
Alright, now that's dead, so you guys can come in and help. Yeah, we avoid doing mixed ground and space units. There's too many unhelpful interactions with that.
Vehicle scan. That's a lot of fire.
Can you please shoot that? Rip.
Hey, time on point.
Everyone just shoot this.
Fire.
You over there. You guys stay there.
Yay.
And you come as well.
Follow me.
Lost all of our poor little infantries.
He's still moving. Ready for kill shot.
You upgrade the ones that are able to be upgraded by taking them to an appropriate shipyard, going in the political or ship menus. If you look there, then they'll be there if they're available. Some have to be unlocked in different ways.
Vehicle scan. Starting attack. We'll need a replacement.
Right. Now we should be able to just take the victory point,
Targeting program.
and then good.
That's how you do it.
Just to be sure, we'll bomb that.
Careful. Hey, nice. Pretty impressive.
We've secured a build pad. Turret constructing.
It seems that the force has failed you.
All right, Bondor belongs to us once again. We lost our B2s, which means we can't invade anything else with them yet.
Building started.
I also don't really have enough ships over there to do that either. So we want... Where will we have a barracks? Apparently is nowhere. More SPDs. I want ion cannons on all these planets. I think I'll save again. I'll be right back while that happens. I'm back. Ideally all this would be down south with the rest of our units right now, but really need to take Kutrick. And I don't think we want to let up in the core, though. We'll build some more ground troops down here so they don't just feel the need to go through. Like, I think anything we try to build on Rishi is going to get cancelled by stuff going between Bothawai and Rathana. Condor, we need you.
Constructing.
We have a few more mines we can build.
Building cancelled.
Really want to take out Corellia. Then it'll be Cadonia, Moidia, and Duro just cut off. Yeah, just if we do that, then they're just gonna attack Rishi, and it'll be just as annoying. Well, Contrim is another place that we need to take out. That's another capital shipyard, and it's super built up. It's been built up forever. And once it's done, then there's nothing they can really build in the north.
Tactical battle imminent.
Delso, you're already dead. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you can't do anything for us anymore. Spawned way too early.
Yay! Looks like they're waiting for us.
We've secured a build pad. Turret constructed. Turret constructed.
All ready. Squad assignment accepted.
This should be doable as well. For money too.
Construction complete.
Negative on visual scan.
Construction complete.
Initiate backward movement.
Stay in here. Gozantes get reworked to proton suit. No, the Gozantes are keeping their proton torpedoes.
Better come up with a plan. Follow me. Forming squad.
We've secured
I'm on
a
point.
build pad. Turret constructed.
I hate clones. Hey, we got
You
here.
go there. Two of you go up
Pretty
here.
impressive. Forming squad.
One of you
Roger,
go to that
roger.
turret.
Scan aborted.
Construction complete.
Scan.
You. We want you just in case there's more AA we need to do.
We've secured a
Drive up.
Backward movement.
There you go.
construction complete.
And let's move back there.
All ready.
Audio trace detected. Pull out.
Or you die. You can die. That's fine.
Unit destroyed.
Yeah, it's fine. You can die.
Base
No use
under
trying
Back
to
here.
leave. Temperature problem.
I don't know how many units they sent.
Heavy damage. Forming squad.
Here, go over to this. We want the field base. Another field base would be nice as well, but that's
I hate
our
clones.
best bet.
Hey, we got here. Forming squad. Hey, roger, roger.
But we're far back enough that we can at least go capture this stuff.
Squad assignment accepted.
Yeah, I was hoping to lure them back into the turbo laser if I could.
Audio trace detected.
There's all the bikes.
All ready.
We've secured a build pad.
Better come up with a plan.
There's even more bikes.
Blaster. That's for my predecessor. Firing blaster.
Audio trace. Initiate backward movement. Negative on visual scan. Disengaging.
Rip.
We've lost the abandoned turbo.
Run them over.
Move back. Pull back. Pull out. Evacuating area. Disengaging.
Dead.
Spotted. Backing down. Retreat is advised.
I don't think it'll be worth the time for this one. For the small amount that we'd be able to kill before the end of the battle. Okay, the auto-resolve is fun. I think we can just go and
Tactical battle.
that back now. Oh, never mind. We're getting attacked. You really think that's... Okay. Keep just throwing the last of Corellia's production at us. Like, you can't do this. Not how any of this works. What do you think you're doing? Hmm. I always thought that particle was from the ion cannon. So I guess it's just the stun effect on the units that's not attached to a vertice properly.
Direct fire on the engines. Destroy the engines. Our target priority is the laser cannons. Our primary target is those ion cannons. The lasers are our target.
Alright,
Direct
good
fire
talk.
on the engines.
Enjoyed that.
Missile launchers are the primary.
Really hope you guys got what you wanted out of this. Achilles is now healed.
Directing all fire at the missile launchers. The missile launchers are the primary.
I shall inform Count Dooku of our success.
Yeah, I just thought like the particle bug was from the projectile that's being shot, not from the misapplication of the stun particle. Hey, Mike.
Construction complete.
Yeah, the role of gunships varies based on the gunship. Like, that's why if you look at the if you look at the Imperial roster breakdowns, we mentioned the gunships pretty much just by role rather than by type. There's like some that are anti-fighter, some that are anti-ship, some that are mixed.
Building started.
Tactical battle.
So let's see. I guess I can look at the actual one for this. Carries 2.5 times, just over 2 times ours. They have a lot more planets. They have a lot more economy. But with Contrum and Corellia, we'll be able to cut them off from any more VSDs or anything like that.
Choose your reinforcement.
Send encrypted orders now.
Hulk. I want to be out of range of the goal and
Reinforcements cancelled.
do you have any advice regarding the performance of the game, especially in larger battles? You can go into the task manager and set the game to be high priority. You can also, so one thing that does help a lot of the times is you can turn off hardware mouse. That helps a lot of people. Change the refresh rate, but like at the end of the day, it's just based on how good your CPU is. So if you have a CPU with a lot of cores that are all slow per core, that's not going to do well, even though like for a lot of modern games it'd be really good. It's just how strong is your CPU core, or is each of your CPU's cores, because it can only use one core, and the faster that is, the better. Get wrecked, Houston. In here. Get Red's Fury.
Destruction of Republic forces.
I'm so pretty. Clankers Revenge.
Mommy.
Omelet.
way.
It's
Location
fine.
confirmed.
And
Reinforcements
sleep.
commencing.
They had it.
Oh, there's Hyperblast.
Target those lasers.
Nope, nope. Okay.
Frequency open. Lots of frigate reporting.
Direct fire at their laser cannons.
Online.
Detonation imminent.
Alright. We're getting like full damage out of the Lucre Hawk while it tanks for our recusants, which is basically what you want from your Lucre Hawks.
Republic bombers detected.
Depends on how many units they're gonna have. Like last time we got fought into a corner. Here comes all their fighters. You need to move up a little bit more. You're gonna move up a little bit more.
Shields back online.
You're gonna go up a little bit more, and you will later.
Activated.
Go for the fighters. Then I guess we'll take the fighter bay out there.
Republic ship count dwindling.
You guys go on that. It doesn't look like they're actually bringing in anything spare,
Has met with
I say, before they drop in like 5 more ships. Yep, there it is. Okay.
Target those lasers.
analysis. Eliminate fighters. Communications are necessary for backup. Destruction is imminent.
Like, if you end up with the game running on a core that's also doing a lot of other stuff, a lot of modern systems aren't going to be great at prioritizing that. You can also set the affinity. That's a bit riskier for people who haven't really worked with that before. There can be some side effects if you screw something up. Generally not with like setting stuff for games like that, but
Forces to retake target Alpha.
generally it's not as worth messing around with those settings. But like the setting priority is
Direct fire at their
safe,
laser cannons.
Shields online.
easy.
Choose
Like, I have a computer upstairs that's technically worse. My old computer that I built basically
Public
just
cruiser has sustained
for EAW
damage.
before I built this one that's more oriented towards like video editing and stuff. And that computer, well, being like 4 years older, actually runs EAW a little bit better than this one does.
Reinforcements en route.
Alright, don't do what I do. Please just kill that rather than keeping it alive so that I'm out of some pop cap.
Target those lasers.
Countdown approaching 0. Emergency. Enemy reinforcements en route.
choose your reinforcements.
High's favorite.
Highly accurate.
Reinforcements.
I just gotta drop them in.
Redundancy for
Procedures initiated.
Eh.
Reinforcements
Here's a quick fix. Roger, roger.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Approach with caution.
Resuming previous focus.
The amount of fighters they have out is
Shutdown
a big problem
complete.
right now. That and the hypervelocity gun. That's going to be a problem too.
Alderaan function. Machines are superior. Terminate the AVP.
Right. I need to make sure that they don't get distracted shooting at fighters.
Negative life form confirmed.
Shutdown complete.
I don't know what you two are doing up here, but enjoy.
Roger, roger.
Maybe it's some like weird date that they're on. Just go for the bombers then. Yeah, we actually saved most of the heavy weapons on this one. The shields are starting to come back on it.
Target acquired. Run away.
This one's probably going to go down, but like this one hasn't been able to be in the battle very much, so
Choose your reinforcements.
be able to bring in those last two munificents.
Situation predicted. Extreme damage.
How much more do they have?
Light turret.
Oh no.
Target turret. Target down. Power on discharge. Die, die. Roger, rubber break.
Victory not obtainable. Retreat is advised.
Or they send in too much more.
Protect the control tower.
Be sad not to kill those two, but save as many of these ships as we can. Won't be that many. If the HV gun is going to make the rest of this battle too hard to like win outright, and then it's going to be a problem if we can't just get rid of everything. So we need another Lucre Hulk or two. So we always have when the first one goes down, I want to be able to bring a second one in. 'Cause I don't think we really barely came out on top there. Like, it'd be an option to go to Corellia now with this, but great one.
Building under construction. Construction.
I'll probably just build up Gravlix Med,
Complete.
because they don't seem keen to attack from Kuchik. I don't think they have the ability to finish a ground battle from there. So I'm going to move this stuff away once we have enough defenses on Gravlix Med. Yeah, we had a probe droid before on it. It was like 400 pop cap, but... Or is it time? I think it's time.
Beginning construction.
We make variations of the province, considering they were heavily customizable. No. We have the carrier destroyer type, and we have the dreadnought type. We don't really need a bunch of other redundant units filling roles that are already covered by other stuff. And you don't necessarily want like every possible combination of stats for a faction. They should be identifiable in what they do when you see them. So like you shouldn't have to hover over every unit of the same type to see what it's specifically got going for it. And like if we want other units doing other things, there are other units to do those other things rather than having a bunch of different province types. There's some slight variations with the hero types, but that's really it. The barracks there. Well,
Construction complete.
Tactical
Oh.
battle imminent.
They decided to come for me. Doesn't leave much else in this area. I feel like this fleet is going to be able to just blast through here. Maybe that's what we'll do with them. What's going on there now? Very little. We go for the station? Maybe. There's Yoda, there's Mace, Obi-Wan, Plo Koon, Aayla Secura, and Kit Fisto. Most of the Jedi are still alive. We're gonna have to retreat from here. Maybe we'll leave this fleet on Alderaan and take Grievous's portion of it and attack.
We're advancing in a different direction.
Because this should be enough to discourage attacks on Alderaan from what we can see in the north.
Construction complete.
Construction complete.
Tactical battle imminent.
I'm not resolving that. So, oh, that was dumb. And we're gonna send you back to Gravelet Smith.
Construction complete.
Building under
That.
construction.
Who's still upgrading? You can upgrade.
Construction.
Sculptor's about to be finished upgrading.
Construction complete.
Right. Over that way. And over this way.
Tactical battle imminent.
There's just another... Yeah, that's it. Two.
Construction complete.
Let's hit the shipyards.
Tactical battle.
I don't think Count Dooku predicted I would hit the shipyards. He didn't even predict that the spikes were going to swarm him. TV people.
Choose your reinforcements.
Like a shipyard dead more than anything. Not a subjugator. Why have I been thinking of you as a subjugator?
Proceed with haste.
Like, at this point, because they have so few shipyards, I'm okay with some repeated attacks taking down fleets. There, we killed the Architens, now we can leave. That's most of the Republic's remaining forces left.
Choose your reinforcements.
And let's get Tommy and Dumbbell. In charge now. Marcel. Oh.
Unit capacity.
Frigate reporting.
I don't think we'll be able to take on the Valaduja directly. But, well, maybe without the
Target in sight.
without a hypervelocity gun.
Commissioned immediately.
Weapons armed. I'm on it. Target those lasers.
Cargo ship here.
How are you doing?
Alright.
You have been designated for
Separatist dreadnoughts.
Closing Republic feedback. Resume operation.
Waiting
stay on that. And after that, you guys are going to go for the BSDs.
Initial objective complete.
Alright, this is not like Club Med for fighters. Just go and actually do something.
Send the coordinates.
Roger, roger.
Did send the coordinates.
Destroy turret. You can't
Told you to attack them.
target. Good shot.
Enemy forces have reduced our numbers. Commence construction of Republic forces.
Alright, over to the Y-Wings.
Form up.
And is anyone really going to lose shields yet? No.
Activated.
That's good.
Waiting order.
'Cause it means it may end up being possible for us to go after their stations. My concern would be coming in from this side, because it's going to be hard to kill the Golan 2 without taking too much damage from it and the Valduja.
Perfect shot.
Copy. Initiating attack.
'Cause if we can take this out, and then we can take Contrum, that's it. No more capital ship production, except for at Kutrick and Rathana. But those are entirely separated from the rest of their forces.
We must complete both shutdown sequences.
One, there's two.
I copy.
General
Attack.
protection fault.
And really, if we want to think about what they have left, then the big fleet at Cato Neomoidia doesn't count. It does, I just want. It's a quote from a little-known movie called Star Trek Into Darkness.
Reporting. Awaiting orders.
Entering retreat state. Disengaging from
Alright.
battle.
We want to whittle down these fighters a little bit.
Republic meatbag. I've got them in my sights. Enemy eliminated.
Was the... No, this would be the first... Okay, yeah. I think this is the first Venator.
Terminate them.
And hyenas, get back.
Form confirmed.
You cannot scare me.
Daisy, Daisy.
Frigate reporting.
Alright. I think we want to send the Kolovex over here. Maybe send the Recusant up a little bit. Oh, no, never mind. Changing the hard extents on those really helped. This goes up. Oh, there's something I wanted to test on YouTube as well. I've never done this before, because it's a new feature. But, let's see. Polls. Which faction do you play most in FOTR? Did it change yes? It's a no to Republic? Not a yes, no. Bam. But it's possible? That's hard to answer.
Separatist dreadnoughts.
Because, like, it really depends on what area you're talking about. There's a lot of stuff that's possible. But I have done a few tutorial videos on, like, getting started with modding AEW. So, that could be a good place to start. And there's some other tutorials hanging around the web as well. Web. Fucking 30. God damn it. I've never called the internet the web before. I'm very upset that it just happened.
Orders. Eliminate fighters.
God damn. Fucking web.
Protect the control tower to prevent a design vulnerability from becoming clear.
And adding any other factions to FOTR? Yeah, the huts have been confirmed. They're like the main one. And there's some other potential ones that are in like TR and stuff that could work for some what-if scenarios.
Planning for your imminent failure is now a formality.
I'm hoping we'll be able to outrange the Valaduja. Let's go in. Like, when we're attacking the full end, we might not be able to. The Black Sun really isn't a great option for EAWX. Like, they didn't really ever control territory or have an active military. And, like, that's nothing against other mods who want to use it that way. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not something we do. But the other thing there is, like, when mods do that, it's typically done by giving them a bunch of Clone Wars stuff. Because it's, like, outdated and everything. But when you're in a Clone Wars mod, you can't really give them Clone Wars tech as outdated stuff, because it's the Clone Wars. So you kind of lose out on the main thing that people use to give them units.
We no longer have control of... Do not let Republic troops secure target Alpha.
Roger that. Target down.
Other vendors coming in.
Shields online.
And I want to start getting everyone else over to this side.
We no longer have control of... Orders.
Oh, that's mostly shooting... Yeah, that's mostly shooting the fighters and stuff. We might be okay. Yeah, there was also the, was it a senator who was asking about, like, the island flipping over? Like, literally flipping over? And then their press person or whoever tried to, like, see, like, oh no, they were talking metaphorically. But if you listen to the question, there's no way that could have been taken metaphorically. They were literally asking if the island would capsize.
Shields back online. Incoming enemy capital ships.
Do Dianovas cling to people? They're like full on you. I don't know.
Shutdown sequence nearly complete.
Questioning that line, Grievous.
Counting down to Alpha detonation. Shutdown sequence nearly complete. We must complete both shutdown sequences. Communications are necessary for backup. Planning for your imminent failure
Alright.
is now
That Golan... Okay. Right, it was Guam.
We no longer have control of
Alright, you need to stop.
shutdown sequence nearly complete.
Fighting for my attention. Attack. How disappointing. I promise you will die quickly.
We cannot allow Republic forces to retake target Alpha. Ambush successful.
Now everyone else can get in on the Valaduja.
Jedi's death.
You guys... I probably didn't need to send you that far off.
Programmed for medical treatment.
Activated.
Standing by.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Okay, you know what? Fine.
Defend the reactor.
Revealing programming and running.
There.
Countdown approaching 0. Activated. Commence destruction.
What's calling for a celebration? The fact that I selected you?
Roger, roger. Terminate them.
Initial objective complete.
You get over there. Need more hyenas on the case.
Signal lost. Beta neutralized.
As on there.
Communications are necessary.
Any more hyenas?
Reticle recently calibrated.
Replace squadrons? I haven't for a long time. I'm kind of sad about how little support EA wanted to give that. It's such a good fucking game. Like, I love it. It might be my favorite Star Wars game. It might be one of my favorite games, just generally.
Moving into position.
We no longer have control of. We have not met requirements for success.
Oh, not the gamer?
Our superior. Flare gun.
Awaiting order.
Shields online.
Cargo ship here.
Keep floating out.
Charge up. Focus your weapon. Target eliminated.
Mr. Crisper!
Nice moving. Republic meatbag. Daisy, Daisy. How are you doing that?
Right, I wasn't really expecting us to be able to properly end this, but it looks like we may be able to. It'll just take a little bit of time.
A formality. Move to
And
resecure
you're
it.
probably even going to get out okay, Visible Hand. I'm going to go around to that side so we're not, like,
Attack run has
taking
met
goal in one
failure.
file.
Reticle recently calibrated.
Yeah, if you have specific questions, feel free to DM me.
Republic ship count dwindling. Blast doors closing.
There's also, if you go to even like the EAW or some mod chat on the Discord server, then there's a lot of people who will be able to help you as well.
I copy.
Signal lost. Their logic is faulty.
Reporting. Attack that target.
Planning for your imminent failure is now
Get out of
a
there.
formality.
Roger, sterilize. Sterilize. Stop the intruder.
Awaiting order.
Our superior. Dispose of turret.
Orders.
Well aimed.
Like, if it was slightly more watchable, had more of an audience, then I'd happily stream it basically all the time. But unfortunately, that isn't the case either. So I end up not being able to put much time into it.
Shutdown complete. Blast doors closing.
Thank you, Stealth Ghost, for the $5 donation, asking, is there a model for the Asserter SSD in Thrawn's Revenge 3.2 yet? No. I have to do a Moana song parody.
Well aimed.
because I did not finish that. Instead, I did a bunch of other stuff. So everyone wins, really.
Yes, Commander. We're almost there.
Final arming sequence engaged. Continue fire.
This calls for a celebration.
Waiting orders.
All units decommissioned immediately.
You there?
Supply ship reporting.
Approach with caution.
Direct fire on their laser
Blast
cannon.
doors operational. Communications are necessary for backup.
Standing by. Target those lasers.
Mark destroyed.
Lasers are our target.
New unit online.
So I'm doing
Targets designated Alpha.
how far I'll go. I think it was before you joined the server, Tritone, but if you look at... If you search from me in the dev server
Has sustained critical
for how
damage.
far I'll go, there are lyrics that I want to update a bit
not let
before I do them.
Republic
But
troops secure target Alpha. Final
I did
arming
already
sequence
write it,
engaged.
technically.
Target those lasers.
What is your name?
All units
Attack
decommissioned
the non-ion
immediately.
cannons, please. Oh, fine. You attack the ion cannons. They're all dead. Hope you're happy. They needed to die eventually, but...
Supply ship reporting.
Activated.
Attacking target.
All units decommissioned immediately. Ensure they are disabled permanently.
It's a 3D modeling rewrite for how far I'll go. About the number of polygons on models.
Awaiting orders.
Shutdown sequence nearly complete.
What is your execution? I will slay you all.
Communications are necessary for backup.
Frigate reporting. Target those lasers.
Blast doors operational.
Termination confirmed. Target destroyed.
4 times.
Alright.
General protection fault.
The lasers are our target. Weapons armed. Target those lasers. Right away. Targeting.
Now it's just you stupid little Carricks.
Firing.
You thought you could oppose the CIS.
Open fire. Enemy spotted.
I guess I could call you Foolish Republic Organics if I wanted to. Oh, the LACs are also reporting. Here we go. I did not watch the soccer game. I have instead just seen all the fun Twitter and Reddit and other social media messages about it. I did watch part of the Stanley Cup playoffs, the finals, but yeah. Only a couple of the games. Thank you again, Stealth Ghost, asking also will there be new Galactic Conquest maps in 3.2 or updated ones? Yes, there will be a lot of updated ones, and probably the reintroduction of Into the Cluster and Black Fleet Crisis with the Hapens being added and the Duskin League being re-added. I do not mean called it the correct term.
Ground invasion commencing.
Canadians do call it soccer.
Forming squad.
Choose your reinforcements.
The fight's not over, ain't clones.
Beginning construction.
Hey, we got here.
Alright, double artillery,
I'll clean their processors.
commandos.
Construction complete.
Gotta find them.
I'll clean their processors. Deny them any chance to
Or not.
survive.
Okay. What if Count Dooku and Grievous die in the game?
Planetary control achieved.
You gotta live without them. Guys, best not be thinking you're attacking.
Imminent.
Cheek. Mine. Uh-oh.
Choose your reinforcements.
Ah, a command I like.
Once you're being ready,
Run!
recalibrating.
Okay. Ooh, you can run. Nice.
Previous stop routine.
Now that is epic.
Here, this planet is ours.
We already saw in the Republic playthrough how Lucrehawk, for some reason, sitting out of range, goes against Golden One.
Here.
Like, if we could go over towards Contrim from here, be a good split. Thank you again, Stealth Ghost, asking, have you heard of the unlimited unit cap mod for Thrawn's Revenge? Public use 4 SSDs in one matchup. I have heard of them.
Send one of my minions.
I've never played with a unlimited unit cap mod. It's not quite
I will send one of my minions.
what my processor wants from me. I feel like it'd be cruel to the processor.
What is it, Miles? The laser cannons. Let us take what we want.
I try to be nice to my processor. I don't want to burn it out.
Perhaps it is time to
Because
stop
if it leaves, then
calculating.
I'm out of a job. I have to buy another one. And that'd be a few days without a YouTube video going up, and then just, like, the internet moves on. Unless you're the Template Institute. You do something that's actually unique.
System lost.
Assault frigate here.
Tactical battle imminent. Deploy ground.
I'll have to go back and get that again. Something was in construction. Under construction, rather.
Choose your reinforcements.
Artillery on this. That. And we're gonna want you and an octopus.
Reinforcements
point.
cancelled. Reinforcements
Go back a little bit.
Ready to destroy the clay. Pretty impressive.
We've secured a build pad.
I think we should be able to hit this from here. Without a turret hitting us. The important part.
Yay. Squad assignment accepted.
Okay, we'll leave them there.
Hey,
And you guys move back a little bit.
checking range.
Now, if you want to be useful, try shooting the thing that's shooting us and that can actually hit, crucially. Get out of there. Nope, you get back here too. Get back there. Get back there. Get back there. No chasing. None of that. Okay, you chased. You deserved everything that happened to you. The biggest ship the CSA will have in 3.2. I mean, their core roster isn't going to be changing other than the removal of the Bulwark 2. So, like, you mean for ship market options, and the biggest thing would be the Mandator 2, which has a 1 in 1,000 chance per week of being added to the market. So that'll be, on average, once every 3 games it'll show. Usually it's about 300 weeks, 330 weeks per. There won't be any other SSDs on the ship market. Just the Mandator 2. You guys get back over there. Start shuffling over. Really just want to take those turrets down. We can with this. No Tritone. With your luck, it'll pop up for the AI. Remember, the AI can use it. So don't worry, you'll still get to see it in TR. Much for a Praetor? Praetors are unlikely to show up. These Praetor 2s. And the cost will be the same on the ship market as anywhere else. Help it. Die. Rip. Oh, I guess that's my fault for saying help it die, rather than clarifying that that was meant to be like 2 different thoughts. Is it just the hypervelocity gun they have left? We cleared everything else? Like, this is why you've got to be precise with your language. Otherwise, your Octoptaras will die. Well, the Hapens and the Duskin League need to get their FTGUs, so maybe they'll end up with a CSA on it. Or we do kind of want to do different types of single planet start maps. So that might end up with different combinations of action.
I am at your disposal.
Deploy ground forces.
Planetary control achieved.
Good. So they got the two big stacks. There's 401 there. There's 95 there. You need to focus this up.
Building under construction. Beginning construction.
Maybe they'll go for like Ord Cestus or something. I really don't think they're actually going to attack.
Building cancelled.
Because they don't have the ground units for it. We're better off building these ones up.
Building under construction.
Not a lot of it. Like there's what, 15 pop cap? 3, 6, 16, 17 of the 401 is ground unit.
Tactical battle imminent.
Two more of them. Just whittle these down as they spread out a little bit. Before we go in for Cato Nemoidia.
Choose your reinforcement.
The one area I kind of am worried about would be Rathana. Because they can build enough ground stuff there to be a potential problem.
Move to resecure it.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Secure.
Reinforcements on
Waiting orders.
What's the situation?
I need recharging target.
Assault Brigadier.
Kill him. You don't kill him.
Republic cruiser has
You go back
sustained
home.
critical
Awaiting
damage.
command. Standing by.
Orders. Focus efforts on target Alpha.
Awaiting your command. Firing on their lasers.
Yeah, you're actually gonna live.
Analysis.
That's good.
Detecting detonation.
Ready. The lasers are on target.
Initial objective complete.
Cannons armed. Attacking target.
They still got EP20 back there.
Countdown approaching 0. Beta neutralized.
We have them in our sight.
Droid reinforcements nearly exhausted.
Do I risk it? No, I'm not gonna auto resolve.
Charge on.
Am I? Yeah.
Public forces are overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's fine.
Retreat and regroup.
Thank you, Stealth Ghost, for another $2 saying, do you have any plans for more MC75? So the MC75 submod will get some other ships added to it. That'll basically be the cannon unit collection mod. So the Starhawk's going to be added to that, and then maybe some other stuff. There's some stuff that we do have done, like the Sphere now, which could end up in that, but which I kind of want to just save for Imperial Reign, our Galactic Civil War mod. Hey, off there. There.
Building under construction.
construction complete.
Nice proving.
Construction complete.
Construction complete.
Tactical battle imminent.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
We need to build this stuff up a bit more.
Building started. Building started. Beginning construction. Beginning construction.
Alright, yeah, let's black off Antrim.
Building started.
Enemy fleet approaching.
Alder. Not gonna make it.
Tactical battle imminent.
We have the Iron Cannon, we have a Bulwark. On top of a capital shipyard and a goal in one. Like, I think we can hold this. No, 9, that's not gonna be difficult.
Reinforcements en route.
Yeah, this is probably gonna be difficult. But having the ion damage, like, from the ion cannon as well as from a bulwark,
Cruiser here.
a lot.
Reinforcements en route.
Frequency
Clankers
open.
Revenge.
Waiting orders.
Going.
Reinforcements
Roger,
en
roger.
route.
The Republic space units are almost done. I'm just finishing off the inexpugnable.
Reinforcements en route.
Sith has very little done,
Heading out.
but hopefully that'll change soonish. Mandalorians are still worth.
Form up.
I need recharging. Highly accurate.
Reinforcements en route.
I copy. Let's go. Keep going.
Reinforcements en route.
The ability wasn't removed, it isn't on the main station types. For the supplementary ones it is. Nemesis tried adding it to the main stations, but it had some issues. So it only works on the additional ones. I've never had a chance to go and check it.
Approach with caution.
Reporting.
Approach with caution. Approach with caution. Approach with caution. Approach with caution.
See if we can block that. Well, again, Nemesis, just the way he tried it didn't work. I haven't been able to go and check if it...
Awaiting orders.
Like, you can make space stations move. That's how supremacy works. So, it's possible we'd be able to make it work, but I don't know. And then it'd still have issues with, like, upgrades or purchases.
Approach with caution.
The missile launchers are the primary target. Take out the missile launchers.
Space station damaged.
Direct fire at their laser cannons. Target those lasers. Direct fire at their laser cannons. Frigate reporting. Target those lasers. Cannons on.
Yikes.
Hold your ground. Focus your weapon.
Ion cannon available. Ion
Weapons on.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna have to use it on that.
Holding fire for maximum effect.
Approach with caution.
New Republic have big fleets of VSDs? No.
Direct fire on those
Rebels
torpedoes.
trailing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're fine.
General, disengaging from battle.
They've disabled our lasers.
Why does the Iron Cannon destroy units to replenish? Shouldn't that be specific to the VHD? Like, if you want to, like, think of it some way, you can think of it as, like, coming out of orbit or being a network of ground-to-space cannons. Like, if it stuns the unit, they fall down, come out of orbit. But, like, the feature exists for specific gameplay and balance purposes, so making it not apply to one of them would be
Lost the laser battery.
against the purposes of it being there in the first place.
Torpedo launchers are offline.
reinforcements en route.
Targeting the torpedo launcher. Target those lasers.
Davy, Davy.
Ion cannon available.
Because, like, without it, people are a lot more prone to just hit an individual unit over a planet, not take it on ground, and then, like, wipe out as much stuff in space as possible, and then they've kind of just blitzed their way through.
Constructing.
Tactical battle imminent.
Yeah, like, the New Republic probably took a couple. At that point, everyone took a couple of pretty much everything.
Continued general defense.
Donut, 7.
Here's a quick
Cute.
fix.
Want to die like this? Maleficent.
Under that.
Do one party bus. And some burger.
Reinforcements
Nice
cancelled.
grouping.
So, it is a lot of VSDs. And some fighters in to mess with them a little bit.
You can't have my part.
Ion cannon available.
That was in a few battles tonight already, the Blood Slave Carrier. That was in, well, that was in the Contrim battle. It's been in pretty much all the Contrim assault. Because it's part of the fleet that, that's been on Roche and Kashyyyk.
Shutdown sequence nearly complete.
Power up for you. Attack! Hold your ground!
Dana and I did a lot of cleaning the last couple days,
Vulnerability.
so we just stirred up all the dust everywhere.
Take the shot.
Both of us have been like really up.
Flash coming. You can't have my part. Very fragmented.
Communications are necessary for backup.
Ion cannon available.
Activated. Intercept. Final arming sequence engaged.
Power up. Eliminate current.
No, there's only 9 of you.
All units decommissioned immediately. Communications are necessary for backup.
Only the 2X. Let's kill that one. There's going to be more of them eventually. They still have a lot of level 2 shipyards, but
Highly accurate shooting. Can't have my part. Current target acquired.
which munificent's yours?
Republic bombers detected.
Entering retreat state. Run away.
Shields online. Laser has sustained
that.
critical damage. Target beta. Their logic is faulty.
Kill them.
Oh, I need recharging.
You guys can kill that one.
Enemy eliminated.
Shutdown sequence nearly complete. Republic light.
Well, if the plan is to do for the June one to do the Republic or Empire story campaigns, then the July one, if we hit it, will probably be the other one of that. Or we'll do a Phoenix Rising or AOTR one, potentially.
We have not met requirements for success.
Or something else entirely, and I'll...
Eliminate immediately.
Like, by that point, by the time we're doing one for July, it'll be August, and we might be able to do some, like, TR preview ones, because there's a lot of stuff changing for a lot of factions. So I kind of want to
Republic bomber attack run has met with
get as many
failure.
playthroughs done, and the single stream ones are a good way to do that.
Unit online.
Power to weapons is being a
Republic
problem
bombers
right now.
Alderaan,
detected. Destruction imminent.
target. You are a killing machine. Alderaan. Current target acquired. Machines are superior. Eliminating turret and have my part disposed of turret.
Countdown approaching 0.
Yeah, that'd be one concern with Phoenix Rising.
Republic
But
forces from destroying communications.
Machines are superior.
I figure it's better to do it that way than not at all.
Termination.
It's harder to fit in
Dispose of
other mods for like full playthroughs at this point.
We have not met requirements for success.
There are some that are like decently small and
superior and designated for termination. How are you doing that?
Final arming sequence engaged.
here.
Separatist
Let's focus on this.
target beta.
More factions coming to follow the Republic the next year. I think it's really unlikely that we'd get like the Huts done in the next
Bombers
year.
detected.
We're still working on like the Hathens and stuff for TR.
Final arming sequence engaged. New unit online.
On my stream report, we're probably coming in close to the end here. I want to go for
We
too
must
long.
complete both shutdown sequences.
It was risky, but paid off.
Retreat aborted.
New ships in 1.2. Yeah, like new ships at this point will probably start shifting as far as Fall of the Republic goes towards
Constructing.
Building under
like the Umbar and stuff and that kind of thing. Like more situational things rather than overstuffing their main rosters with more units.
Construction complete.
Tactical battle imminent.
Like this stream hasn't been the most productive in terms of taking out planets, but we've kind of worn down their shipyards a bit. We're getting to the end of the stalemate, especially with this fleet coming in and cutting off them from Contrum.
Choose for reinforcements.
Ionize the oxygen. Regular LBC. Like there were already a decent amount of ground units done for
What is it, my lord?
Fall of the Republic
I will
0.2,
dispatch them.
1.2.
I am at your disposal.
But space, we've kind of got a lot of the major things done. God damn it. Why are you shooting that?
What is it, my lord?
There's like the maelstrom we want to do. There's not. It's not that there's nothing we still want to do. It's just we kind of got like a lot of the core stuff for Fall of the Republic done. Is a nice change from TR, which could go on for years of just adding 4 units for the co-factions.
Let us take what we want.
Resume operation.
Like we're not in any rush as far as
Roger, boom.
FOTR space units goes.
All targets acquired.
Take the shot.
Victory is ours.
Hold your ground. Evacuating conflict. Take the shot.
Croissant that went wrong is
Focus your effort.
be in trouble.
Here, there shall be no treaty. I will send one of my minions.
Human life feed. What's your name? Reticle recently calibrated.
Target eliminated.
Target eliminated. Are
Run.
superior. Hold your ground. Re-adjust your targeting reticle. Eliminated. Target down.
Resume operation.
I am at your disposal.
Enemy
How
target.
treacherous.
Proximity alert. Daisy. Daisy. How are you doing that? This does not compute.
That poor croissant
Choose
definitely went wrong.
Here,
Watibamuta.
I will send one of my minions. How treacherous.
Rip.
choose your reinforcements.
Take that, droid killer.
Alright, well, ionize the oxygen is going to kill all of you now. And I'm not even going to tell it what to do. I got like 2 hours of walking in today and then sat outside for another 2 hours, 3 hours. So we're gonna have our traditional stream pop. This time it's deserved. This time it's frozen. Never mind, we're not drinking that. We're gonna let it sit there.
The lasers are our
What is
target.
it, my lord? It won't be long now.
They drop. Oh my god, really? Yeah, you killed the Munificent, so you got us. We're not gonna want to stay and fight you now.
I am at your disposal.
How dare you? How absolutely dare you?
I will send one of my minions.
I don't intentionally freeze them, but rather than keeping them in the fridge, like a normal person should or would, whenever I want one, I put it in the freezer, then I just wait till it gets cold. But sometimes that process goes too long, especially if I'm streaming, where my perception of time is a lot more variable.
Evacuating conflict.
Like, this has probably been in there since I stood up last time. So, an hour. And it's the mini cans start to freeze a little bit. Okay. Oh, you came up all the way around there. Or you came from Naboo. Okay, I keep forgetting about Naboo. No, you didn't come from Naboo. Anakin's still here.
Building under construction. Building under
Tactical
construction.
battle imminent.
Jade rope. Okay, everything is falling apart now. I need to actually deal with this before they start taking all these planets.
Construction complete. System
Imminent.
Jesus. 0-3 with a capital shipyard. Alright. We defended the opposite side of this engagement with the Republic. Let's see how we do.
Reinforcements en route. Reinforcements en route.
Thank you, Parker Harrison, asking for the $5 donation, asking for Father Republic or a GCW mod. Would you add Conquest of the Rim for an early Empire GC? Yes, the Reconquest of the Rim will be included in Imperial Reign. And what I would actually like to do is, whenever it releases in Imperial Reign, have a version of it also release in Fall of the Republic. We'd have two different representatives of it. Or representations of it. Representatives.
Reinforcements en route.
Copy. Let's go.
I copy.
Reinforcements en route.
Oh, off.
Reinforcements en
What I always just hear them say.
Negative life form
Reinforcements en
confirmed.
route.
Double checking.
Calling me a negative life form? Sometimes I'm a little depressed, but...
Uh-oh. Negative life form confirmed. Redundancy procedures
For me.
initiated. Well aimed. Double checking. Charge up. Redundancy procedures initiated.
Really wish we had an ion cannon here, because this would be a definite victory. Get it? Definite victory. Right there. It would be for alternate faction choices, because, like, the Republic and Fall of the Republic would be standing in for the Empire, or the Empire would be the Empire in Imperial Reign. Like, the CIS would be the Confederate Remnants versus the Confederate Holdouts being its own thing. But the gameplay between both mods will be, like, Imperial Reign will be substantially different compared to TR and FOTR. So
Direct fire at their laser cannon.
Approach with caution.
be the most different of the three.
Space station under attack.
Approach with caution.
The AI in Fall of the Republic defaults to Order 66.
Approach with caution.
Because it's generally the thing that has the most unique stuff
Approach with
that
caution.
you're given.
Approach with caution.
So it's a bit more interesting to play against Order 66. Maybe in the future we'll make it an actual choice the AI makes or randomize it. Because ultimately it's not like one's better or worse, it's just different stuff that you end up with. So
Roger, roger.
making it random weighted significantly towards Order 66 would probably be the way we go there. Or have it check like how many Jedi it has left. If it doesn't have many Jedi heroes left, maybe prioritize Order 66.
Yes, Commander.
Negative life form confirmed. Target acquired. Uh-oh.
The Act 2s do a lot of damage, but they're also going to be the easier ones to kill.
Designated for termination.
Yes, Commander.
Well aimed. Target current.
This is just the icons. We don't actually have an ion cannon. Like, keep in mind, this build, this playthrough, started before the release of 1.1,
Terminate.
so it's not really
Target.
up to date or polished or finished.
Well aimed.
Like, we've got a 1.2 preview playthrough going on at the same time as a 1.1 preview playthrough. This has been a relatively long campaign. I'm hoping the Republic one that we just started will be a bit quicker. Because it'll be a long release cycle, but just I want to be able to show more stuff off as it happens.
Victory is ours! Roger, roger. Dispose of turret.
Right. Lost the goal in one.
Entering retreat state. Reticle beacon recalibrated. You have surpassed your hourly quota.
These two are a write-off at this point.
Target those lasers. Awaiting command.
But I want to be able to get Munificent out of there. We can park it around the edge. So I'm sacrificing the Recusants for the Munificent, which I normally wouldn't do, because Recusants are just superior in every way to every other ship in Star Wars. That's a scientific fact. But it was just, they weren't going to get out.
Die, fire brother.
Target beacon maximum.
You have been designated for termination. Power up. Redundancy procedures initiated. Malfunction. Roger, roger. Eliminate turret.
And start moving you guys in.
Fire at their laser cannon.
Frigate here. This way.
Negative life force confirmed. Roger, roger. Charge! Charge up. Uh-oh. Target turret. Eliminate turret. On target.
You guys.
Attack
And the
that target.
bombers
Cannons armed. Engaging.
here. Guys over there.
Prepare your recycling algorithm. Again.
The fact that they're going past this, the Golan, is helpful in some ways and harmful in others.
Panzer frigate reporting.
Daisy, Daisy.
Like, the rest of the guns are, because this was before we did the category maps changes that I've talked about like 30 times in playthroughs. The fighters will end up getting targeted a lot more by the guns automatically, which is not what I want. But to shoot the actual ships.
This does not compute.
Direct fire at their laser cannon.
All right. That's sad. Killed a lot of them. So many elsewhere. This is 8 pop cap, Bothwise 59. Seven, 6. We don't want to attack Kid any Moidia yet. I think what we'll do is we will invade Orson, and that'll be the last. Oh, never mind. This will be the last battle of the stream. This should be Droid Slave.
Diagnostics check.
Oh,
Okay.
this is Hermes.
Choose your reinforcements.
On my way.
This isn't going to be the best for us. Okay, but I just got promoted. If you're expendable and you know it.
Procedures initiated. Here's a quick
Efficiency. Ghost. Al 9000. My favorite. Fine. I can't.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Fallout.
I like birds. And come and go. Plato.
Reinforcements cancelled.
I'm kind of hoping we have enough.
Reporting in. Roger, roger.
I think did I tell it to do that? I must have.
The ion cannons are our
Auto weapons is going to be down. Well, that was actually good. Auto weapons is going to be down on at least a couple of them. I'll plan.
Approach with caution.
target those lasers.
Yeah, that was all what we wanted to happen.
Direct fire at their laser cannons.
Approach with caution.
That might have saved some other ships for us.
Have my part. Target turret. I need recharging. Turret target acquired.
Target those lasers.
Copy.
I think we can win this though. Now
Disabling their launch bay.
we don't have anything tanky in this fleet.
We are not retreating. We're advancing in a different direction.
Like maybe we could have won, but we would have lost so much that it would have been like this fleet would have been useless after the fact.
Construction complete.
Construction complete.
Sending the ground forces for an invasion.
So I think we can do this. We can take out Roche and Balamak with the fleet that's over this planet right now.
Forming squad.
But that'll be for a different stream. Just want to take this planet on.
Hate clones.
Choose your reinforcements.
Move it up.
The fight's not over. Roger, roger.
Diagnostics check okay. Right.
Hermes died doing what he loved. Exploding.
Their processor.
Construction complete.
They have a turbo laser.
Roger.
At least we pulled them back. And one of you I'm gonna send down to this sensor.
Diagnostics check okay.
So oh, there you are.
Forming squad.
Data board open. Lining up. Online. Finding my target. Input orders.
Yay! Vehicle scanned.
Okay, you're supposed to be up there. And everyone else head back as well. Everyone head back.
Don't get too close. That's a lot of firepower. Hey, nice. Yay! Checking range.
Right, I think they've all come out of the base, so we can go into the base. And we can take out that
A build.
until stuff shows up. And we can't.
Reinforcements.
Let's put hail fires in there. You are gonna get this.
Ready. Better come up with a plan.
You're gonna get oh nothing. You're not gonna get anything.
We've secured a build.
Forming squad.
So we're just gonna send you down there.
Trying to lead.
We've lost a build. Construction complete.
Because then we'll be able to hit this with artillery and with a bombing run. You guys are so lucky you have a shield protecting you. I'm gonna send them up here so we draw them out again. And then once they start moving
Missile arm. Yes, sir.
down here.
Blast radius check. Commander. Missile delivery. Mobile.
Going back. Like generally I like killing these.
We've secured all sensors.
Because I hate the saber tanks being able to go wherever they want. Offends me greatly. Alright. Ooh. So much for the bombing run. It was a dream that wasn't meant to be. Over there.
Armed for combat. Get down. Circuits functional.
Alright, kill that. Kill it now. And then we're going to use the orbital bombardment on this. There's nothing they can do about the orbital bombardment.
Ready. Selected. Perimeter attack.
Oh, can you not attack the mercenary outfitters and like
Clear.
you
Roger, roger.
absolute jerks. Right. That was all we wanted. Leave.
Missile ready. Command.
Kill the clones. We'll send them after this one instead now. I have played AOTR. I have a few playthroughs on the channel. It's been a few years though. Need to... Yeah, I think we do need you there. You guys want to head out that way? Well, actually, I think we're going to bomb this one, because that's the easiest one to hit that direction. And I'll just send the HMPs and off to chase other stuff. Because we've pretty much wiped out all the major resistance. Where is our artillery? I lost it. Know how to use Actus. They have a lot of good damage. All the acclimators, if you kind of keep them in a position where they're not going to get focused, they do a lot of damage. Just make sure something else is tanking for them.
Target's locked.
Yeah, like the Act 1 is a carrier.
Unit destroyed.
Act 2 is pretty high damage. Like turbo laser damage. If you want the physical damage, you can go for the leveler version, the assault act.
Ready. Compensating for shields.
Right. You didn't even need to go over there. Right. Coursing. Our victory is now coursing through my veins, I guess. I don't know. What do you want from me?
No life signs. Uh-oh, watch out.
Go over here. There you go. Now you can shoot them.
Missile ready. Clear.
What is left? Is that it? Nope, there's still that. And there's a speeder bike there.
Your command. Missile arm. Launching.
Oh, I'll have to send you over there. You guys over here. Go cut it off over that way. Yay! We did lose the hag.
Control achieved.
Oh, that kind of sucks. But we are now able to actually get to Contrum. But that is going to do it for tonight's stream. I will probably do the next one as a stream as well here on YouTube. I'm not sure what day, but I do have to make the stream schedule for next week. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're looking forward to the final stages of the campaign. We didn't take as much territory as I'd hoped this time, but we set ourselves up for taking a lot, though the Republic is also kind of in position to take a lot. So thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye.